Alrighty, we are recording, so hello people of the internet, it is I, Solar Dragon here, back with more Fate Grand Order, where today we're doing Section 2 of the Traum Singularity. If you're watching this on YouTube, which you kind of are, then welcome back for another day. If you're watching this on Twitch, then this is the third time you've heard me do the intro. It's gonna happen a lot with these. It's gonna happen a lot. But without further ado, we should just jump in to Section 2, the Young Emperor. Formation restricted. Continue item is available. We have 3 leyline stones, assassin only. You'll form your party immediately before the battle begins. Okay. Section 2, the Young Emperor. None of them seemed young, honestly. Now then, well, I could certainly do with a spot of tea. Bars pretty much only have booze, so I don't see that happening right now. Though I do enjoy a good glass of red wine, I don't think I could do so in this rundown tavern. I'm afraid my drink will have to wait until another time. Alright, you two. Tell us everything you saw. Even the smallest detail could be of great importance. Exposition dump. I see. Army's completely comprised of servants, huh? I've dreamed of such fantastic sights before, but I never thought I would actually see such a thing for myself. Even our database suggests that even 7 against 7 is as many servants that have ever fought against each other at once. We've seen edge cases where multiple servants were summoned, like the final singularity. That's exceedingly rare. Indeed, even putting aside the importance of battle as the crossroad for human survival, it is nothing less than a miracle. But there has never been anything close to large-scale servant-versus-servant warfare we just witnessed. Fascinating. Truly fascinating. I only got a quick look, but I saw they had longbow archers from the 100 Years' War. There were also some samurai-looking warriors going from their armor. I'd guess they were generals from Japan's Warring States period. Some of the archers used matchlocks, and other servants used looked like cowboys straight out of the Old West. I couldn't get a good look at the casters, though. They either had faces covered or were using some kind of perception blocking. So these armies consisted of all 7 classes from a wide range of cultures and regions, Probably. Aside from that, I also heard them say something about heroic spirit levels and phantom spirit levels. That must be referring to their spirit origin ranks. With more than 200 servants in total, it's understandable that not all of them would be heroes of great renown. Given what you've told us, Kadak, it would seem these servants are not heroes who took part in famous battles, but little-known humans who would normally never be summoned as servants. Maybe so, but they're still servants. I see. But you got every way to confirm that, Holmes? That because there is a great difference between a demonic beast as strong as a servant and an actual servant. It's far from pithy, but it's more accurate to determine a servant as a heroic spirit with a master. Though, of course, that definition can be applied quite broadly. For example, under this definition, we could say that the land itself serves as a rogue servant's temporary master. But I digress. My point is, no matter how weak or strong a heroic spirit may be, as a rule, they cannot exist as a servant without a master. So what's the story with the servants, then? That is the question, no? Who could their master be? Or does there exist some manner of exception to the rule which is permitting them to exist without a master? So it's still too early to say, huh? I'm afraid so. I still need to dig a bit deeper. They also said something about the realms. I suspect they were referring to their respective kingdoms and territories. The Revenge Realm, the Reinstatement Realm, and the Righteous Realm. These names no doubt reflect each faction's particular bent, and there are other things we can presume based on the different names you heard. Kriemhild of the Revenge Realm. I believe we can confidently say she is the Kriemhild of legends about Sumanai. She is most likely a saber or a berserker, though we cannot rule out Avenger. The fact that she has formed an army of heroic spirits means she's either highly intelligent herself, or has an intelligent second in command. Konstantinos of the Reinstatement Realm. There have been rather few men named Konstantinos in recorded history, but I suspect we are dealing with the 11th. Konstantinos the 11th is said to be the last emperor of the Byzantine Empire. I must say, I find the choice of Reinstatement for his faction's name intriguing, but we can leave that for another time. And finally, Charles the Great of the Righteous Realm. no idea who the pink-haired person is. Now that is quite the name indeed, if we are truly talking about the Charles the Great. Then I would say his victory in this war was a foregone conclusion. I'm inclined to agree. Neither Creamhill nor Constantinos can even begin to compare it with him. However, some things don't quite add up for me. For example, the Righteous Realm's manner of fighting. What do you mean? You told us that the Righteous Realm stood back and let the other two sides exhaust each other before swooping in. And that they chose to leave the battle shortly afterwards so as not to exhaust their own soldiers. What do you make of their tactics, Count Vlad? Inarguably effective, however. Go on. There was a clash between two medium-sized forces, and a fairly one-sided one at that. Had the Righteous Realm's army chosen their timing more carefully, they could have decimated both other armies. If I had been leading their charge, I would have waited until the other sides were a bit more entrenched. You said that the Reinstatement Realm's army was hitting the Revenge Realm with a full force to deny them an opportunity to surround them in a pincer movement. In which case, the Righteous Realm's forces should have been easily able to obliterate the exhausted Reinstatement Realm. Even if the Reinstatement faction had chosen to ignore the Revenge Realm in favor of fighting back against the Righteous. They were far too into enemy territory to mount a successful defense. By that point, the Righteous Realm's archers and casters could inflict significant damage on the Reinstatement forces without even bothering to aim. So for everything you told us, it would seem the Righteous forces' timing was slapdash at best. Or if that timing was a deliberate choice. Is that what you think? I don't know, but if we assume that it was, I can think of several possible explanations. That said, I can't speak with any certainty on any of them at this point. Yeah, okay, I can see where this is going. Now is not the time. Huh, it seems I've been beaten to the punch. Now then, as for their objective. Rogue servants summoned by the Holy Grail powering a given singularity have generally worked in service of humanity. That at least has been what we have seen thus far. Most of the heroic spirits summoned in rituals such as these Holy Grail wars have been on humanity's side as well. But of course, heroic spirits come in all shapes and sizes in multiple senses of the word. In addition, when they have a master, their master's personality affects their own. Excuse me. Both their ineffable nobility of heroes and the naked cruelty of monsters reflect that person's true nature and are recorded as such. Is there like a point to you just repeatedly telling us all shit we already know, Holmes? Okay, Caddick. Again, I don't like you. Bad-mouthing Holmes, who may or may not be a traitor, is not getting you in my good book. This is going somewhere, right? My apologies. What I mean to say is the present state of affairs would normally be unthinkable. Hundreds of servants forming armies and acting in concert, regardless of whether they are good or evil. What's more, they seem to have set aside any regional, national, cultural, and ideological differences to do so. In one sense, that sounds like a perfect world. But the fact that their unity is in service of a war between the three kingdoms, or perhaps realms is a better word, is anything but cause for celebration. Where does that leave us? Are these guys our allies, or should we be treating them as enemies? Maybe we can form a temporary alliance like you guys did with me. I certainly hope at least one of these realms is on our side. We must be exceedingly cautious in our approach, though. Never before have we faced anything like an organized army of servants. There's only so much Holmes and I can accomplish on our own. The forces we saw earlier would most certainly have been destroyed in any battle with any one of the realms. No matter how you slice it, the sheer numbers are too much, and on top of that, they have their noble phantasms. Prepare yourself, Master. We have enemies here. Oh. Enemies. I'll be taking that head now. I'm afraid not. Assassins. Enemy servants detected. I'm sorry, I didn't know sooner, Master. Damn, they're using presence concealment. No wonder they got the jump on us. How did Vlad the III notice them then? Alright, he must be sensitive to the smell of blood. Worry not, we can take them. Are you ready, Master? Ready as I'll ever be. Yeah, I'm just gonna stand over here. No reason for me to get in on all that. By all means. I assume you're here to track down stragglers. I don't expect you'll answer, but I may as well ask. What realm are you from? As I thought, well, it matters not. The fact remains you are my enemy. So I will show you no mercy. Come, let me show you how sharp my mournful stakes truly are. So, support Vlad. 2 servants from mine can only be selected. You know, if we're going to be having Vlad... I was going to use my support Vlad. My Vlad and support Holmes, but I guess that's not an option. We'll do Castoria and Waver to support Vlad here. So, Castoria. Waver. Let's roll. Okay. Old phantasms, huh? We'll use ours, too. Okay, That's a lot of health. And they're ready to go. Offset them. Get a guts going. Throw an Invents on Waver and an Invents on Castoria. Just in case. And then doot. Instant death, huh? Are you kidding? Thank you, Holmes. You just saved my ass. Do. Son of an invasion. Okay, they're still NP sealed. For 4 turns, they have a full turn of evasion. That sucks. In that case, let's get a Castoria NP ready. Evasion down. Waver focus down. One that's almost down. Good. Our buffs are all gone. Really appreciate it if Vlad had NP. And he does. Do like this. This should be game set match. Okay. That wasn't too bad. We got an Ash. That power, that command spell. You're our enemy. I didn't use a command seal. It's over. I would say that was all too easy, but several things about them gave me pause. Can you analyze that combat data for us, Da Vinci? Da Vinci? Can you hear me? There's static. I'm sorry, Master. A huge burst of static interference broke out when your battle began. We weren't able to collect any data on it, let alone offer advice. Like what happened in Fairy Britain. No, I don't believe it is. It's similar to be sure, but it feels slightly, yet significantly different. Fairy Britain rejected the very idea of proper human history, by extension electronic devices that came from it. This was just ordinary interference. A great deal of it, to be sure, but nothing that will hinder our equipment's core functionality. So we should assume there are different mechanisms at work here than there were in Fairy Britain. Look at you, big shot detective, huh? Well, yes, I am. A consulting detective, to be precise. Getting back to the battle we just fought, tell me, Master, or even Kadok, did you notice anything strange? They had command spells. Yeah. They were outfitted with command spells just like we are. Though unlike normal command spells, they were only meant for support, just like the Master of Chaldea's. They had just enough magical energy to let them use their noble phantasm at a moment's notice. Who gave them those? That is indeed the question. If it was a master, then we can be sure the master is no ordinary human. We know these servants used their command spells repeatedly in that earlier battle, as well as the one we just fought. Clearly they were not bound by the 3-use limit, nor did I see any signs of them using a magical reactor, or something similar to recharge them. And not even the most talented mage could create something like an inexhaustible command spell. Yeah, not even Kirshtari could have pulled something like that off. And even if another mage of the same rank were alive and well here, it'd be just as impossible for them, too. I'm sure Morgan could do it. Then from where do the command spells come from? From extremely far away. Yeah, it definitely wasn't anywhere we could see. That's for sure. Alright, let's avoid drawing any conclusions for the time being. We still have far too little information to work with. We did learn one thing for certain here. They see us as their enemy. Which means it's extremely unlikely we'll be amiable to joining our side. Then what should we do now? Good question. As I see it, the obvious answer would be to look for a servant willing to help us out, and a local who can tell us more about this place. I'd say we need at least one of those two if we're going to make any headway. What do you think, Holmes? That would seem much easier said than done, I'm afraid. First of all, I expect I will be fiendishly difficult to track down a servant who would willingly help us, seeing as apparently all of the servants here are engaged in warfare against each other, clearly defined sides. I have little reason to believe we will have much luck with the locals either. Why is that? Take a look at the remains of this town. Why was it built in the first place? Excuse me. I suspect the answer is simply to provide a battlefield on which the factions may kill one another. Naturally, this being America, I'm sure there were local people here at one point. But they were most likely either collateral damage in the conflict, or simply fled the area entirely. Regardless, we can safely assume we will not find a single local here. So if the two options, our only viable one is somehow find a servant whose interests align with ours. I admit this choice may be unseemly, but if we were to torture a captured servant for information. Torture is a notoriously unreliable means of gathering information, so I would still very much prefer we kept things as peaceful as possible. If you say so. Master, it's the special alert. Special alert? What is that? What are you talking about? Oh, right. Sorry, Kadok. Forgot to tell you about this. It's an alert we came up with for a very particular breed of servant, based on all combat data to date. It looks like all that time Muramasa in particular spent accompanying us has paid off in spades. You don't mean? I'm afraid it's just as you feared, Kadok. Eventually is referring to a disciple of the foreign god. With Limbo and Muramasa gone. That just leaves Grigori Rasputin, or Kotomene Kira as the case may be. But why would he show up here and now? what is this? Something's telling me that's not the case. The Rasputin is the only disciple left. No, wait. Don't tell me. I do indeed sense another servant here. Show yourself, disciple of the foreign god. I'd see him being called out. I suppose I'd best oblige. That's not Rasputin. Who the heck are you? You. Delighted to meet you, Holmes. But at this tender age, I ought to be addressing my elders more properly. Mr. Holmes. No. You gotta be kidding me! No. So you've met me before then. That will save us some time. For those of you who do not know, my name is James Moriarty? Moriarty Lily? Okay, unexpected. I thought for sure that, the whole blaring alarm and no other servants would approach, and it would be revealed that one of the servants here was the disciple. Ooh, but no, it's apparently Moriarty Lily. You look very little like your older self. A mathematician, a consultant, and just as he suspected, a foreign disciple. Okay. That's a part to end section 2 on, isn't it? We just got a quartz, 2 ashes of remembrance, 2 pure prisms, and 2 hellfires of wisdom. Alright, so I'm going to end this here on YouTube. That was section 2. Be sure to tune in tomorrow on YouTube for section 3. If you like this, be sure to drop a like and a subscribe so you won't be able to catch up on more when it gets uploaded. So I will see you on YouTube tomorrow.